Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows from shows ranging from the 90s to today.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany,
And I'm Cynthia.
and today we're talking about Season 4, Episode 9, titled Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, weird title. Air date November 29th, 2000, and the synopsis is...
Jen reveals an important decision she's made with regards to college, while Jack and Grams make a decision on their own for her. When Dawson comes up empty with answers to a question on his college essay, he turns to Mr. Burks for advice. Meanwhile, Pacey accompanies Joey to a formal party at the Yacht Club for Worthington College students. Also, Gretchen takes over planning for Gail and Mitch's Christmas party at the restaurant.
So did you like how it starts?
With Dawson and Gretchen watching Mr. Brooks' movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to see Gretchen there.
Why? Yeah, but they've been getting close. I mean,
Yeah,
every episode there's always Dawson and Gretchen scenes.
Yeah, I just didn't expect her to be in his room. That's all.
Well, he lets all of his friends in his room. He even lets strangers in his room.
Yeah.
Is there anybody he hasn't let in his room?
Well, some people went in there when they were not supposed to, like Abby.
Yeah, but he also didn't shoo her away. He
tried, yeah.
No, after a while. It wasn't like, as soon as he opens a door, get out of my room sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he likes Gretchen. He's not going to kick her out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just surprised that his parents just keep letting him have people in his room. That's all. But I think they're too caught up in, like, the new baby and their restaurant stuff where they don't really think of parenting Dawson. But then again, when have they ever parented Dawson?
Right.
He's always just parented them. So there's that, too. I think Gretchen and Dawson just come from non-parents.
Yeah.
But you do know what I thought was funny?
What?
Okay. Seeing how Dawson always just loves his black and white movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yes, this is Mr. Brooks' movie. So it's a little different. It's not just a regular Dawson night. But I thought it was funny because Gretchen said something like, didn't you say something like, Tarantino did it better with color?
Yeah.
And I thought it was funny because I was like, here we go. She's like everybody else, admitting she likes it better with the color. Because, I will say, some black and white movies are really good.
Yeah.
But then some just make you want to go to sleep. But yeah, I'm like, here we go. Here's another person on the don't like Dawson movie nights because they're black and white.
Yeah, Dawson really likes Mr. Brooks' movie.
You said Mr. Dawson.
Yeah.
Mr. Dawson over here.
Yeah, Turn Away My Sweet, one of the ones that he made in the 50s. Actually turned out to be his last movie, too. So the late 50s.
How old is Mr. Brooks?
I don't know.
That's what I want to know.
Same age as Grams. Around there, probably.
Now, don't you think that they're kind of made for each other?
Yeah.
Because they're both set in their own ways. And they're both lonely when you think about it. If you take Jen out of Graham's life, she's bored. And so's Mr. Brooks. So, obviously, isn't that where Gretchen and Dawson talk about, like, why he's not, really, like, making films into film?
Yeah.
And, then it goes to the theme song. But, you know what I didn't like? Was after the theme song.
Why?
Well, I didn't like Mrs. Valentine.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. She is something else. So, I didn't, okay, did you like this part? I'm not paying you to study for your GED.
I know. And then
what?
Before that, she said she saw Becky at the pharmacy.
Well, no, Becky was after the GED part. Because she's walking up to Joey saying, I'm not paying you to study for your GED. And I went, well, Joey's not getting her GED. Joey's in high school.
Yeah.
If she was, okay, think about it. If Joey wasn't in high school, don't you think she'd be working more hours? She'd be able to work all day.
Yeah.
She's not, she comes after school. So she doesn't, don't you get it? That lady doesn't, she was just driving me nuts. And then, then she says Becky, and it's Bessie.
Yeah.
Oh, and then what was the comment about Bessie? Something about she's not getting
Contraceptive.
Yeah.
I can't say the word for life. Yeah, the pharmacy, just because she had a baby
Oh,
in her
wow.
20s.
She had one
Yeah.
child,
In her 20s.
which
Now
is
she's Joey's
normal.
age.
Oh, my God. It's so normal.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't a teen.
Yeah.
And she wasn't. Who? Okay, so she's not married. Who cares?
Right.
I know it was a big thing in the 90s, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, oh my. She's a good mother.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not that we see Alexander,
Mhm.
but
Mm-hmm.
you know, she. Well, I mean, think about it though. She did make Joey work, so she could be with him. So there's that. But I don't get it. She's taking care of her kid,
Mm-hmm.
and I just don't. She doesn't have a whole bunch of kids. She only got the one.
Yeah. Yeah, Miss Valentine's just.
What is she talking about? She's got Drew.
Yeah.
Alexander is a million times better than Drew.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's just rich, so she thinks she's better than everybody.
I mean, think about it though, because she's so rich.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the nanny probably raised Drew.
Yeah. Or a maid or somebody.
Yeah, I was just like, right, missus
Mhm.
Valentine. You don't even know your son.
Right.
I did think it was funny though when Joey said, you know, there's Drew
Yeah.
who could
Take the
work. And I was
shift.
like,
Mhm.
and then her face was like, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, there you go. Get your spoiled rich boy son to do it.
Yeah. I liked how
I bet
she.
I bet he doesn't know how to lift a finger and
Yeah.
actually work.
Mm-hmm. I liked how at first Miss Valentine was telling Joey she had to work at the party, but Joey's like, "No, I'm going to be a guest at the party."
And she was so awkward though at the beginning because she's like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sort of gonna be there as a
Yeah.
guest. And then the guy was like, you're Josephine Potter. And then Mrs. Valentine's like, what?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yes, go away, Mrs. Valentine.
Yeah, like she couldn't believe Joey could get into a school like that.
Well, if she's studying so much, I would think she could, you know, because she
Mhm.
cares.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, whatever. Just because your son isn't smart
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean others aren't.
Right.
I could not stand her.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, if I have to keep putting up with Mrs. Valentine, this is going to be bad.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that Drew is only in season 4. Like, think if we had a deal with Mrs. Valentine in season 1.
Right.
Like, if he was a main character then,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, that'd be horrible. I probably would have turned the TV off. She's just so bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did like how the guy, what's his name?
Mr. Hubleck. Yeah, something like that.
I liked him.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Because he definitely kind of eased it when he was like, oh, I'll be seeing you or whatever, you know, at the party. And it was like, ha, ha, ha.
Yeah, and he told Miss Valentine to give Joy the day off.
Mm-hmm, because she'll be attending.
And at his table, too.
Exactly. See, that's even better. See, I loved it even better. But yeah, I was like, oh, Mrs. Valentine. But I loved it because she had to shut her mouth. Because what could she say after that? Nothing.
Yeah. And then Gretchen volunteers to put the Christmas party together.
Well, it was funny because she's like, oh, I miss these or I love these parties. I mean, it's like, it's weird though because she's definitely been away.
Yeah.
Because she would know that they haven't been going on every year.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because then she's like, what? They haven't been? And it's like, no, Gretchen, this is what I mean, Gretchen. You're just Pacey's all of a sudden new sister because you would have known that they haven't had these parties. You know?
Yeah, I guess she never came home between years or anything.
Which is weird because college kids normally come home for Christmas.
Or the summer at least.
Yeah, so she would have known.
Mm-hmm.
If she, okay, think about it. If you go to those parties, like his parents' parties, you would probably be close to the family, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even if you're not attending, and you normally do, wouldn't you be like, hey, when's that party? Or how was that party? You know what I mean? Like, if you're talking to your sibling, she would be asking Pacey, oh, how was the Christmas party? And he'd be like, they didn't have one.
Mm-hmm.
She should know that they haven't had one. It's just hard to believe she would be so out of
the loop.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, her brother was best friends with Dawson.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe that she wouldn't know.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I mean. I don't think they wrote that very well. Do you?
No.
She should have been like, hey, are you... I mean, it would have been better if she was like, hey, are you guys having that Christmas party this year?
Mm-hmm.
You know, the party you guys used to, like, something that would make her seem like she knew something about it instead of what?
Right.
And then Dawson has to explain why,
Mm-hmm.
which is, you know,
Yeah.
they aren't together, but it was just like, it made no sense to me. I'm like, you're not some girl he just met.
Mm-hmm.
You have been in this family circle. So it's just weird.
Mm-hmm.
And I got more to say about this party, but we'll continue with,
Well, I just thought it was funny how Gretchen volunteered to do everything and then drags Dawson into it.
well, yeah, and he goes, what part of the whole you're doing it?
Yeah, that was funny.
Okay, I will say, though, remember at the beginning of the season 4, you were like, I don't really want, Gretchen and Dawson together.
Mm-hmm.
I like them together.
Yeah, now that you can see that Dawson has matured a bit.
Yeah, like, he's a little bit more mature, not the little child that I couldn't stand.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, now we can actually watch him on screen, you guys. Isn't this
Yeah.
cool? I don't mind when Dawson is on camera.
Yeah.
Because,
Only because he is not into Joey for the first time in the longest time.
well, and he's not obsessed over it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love it because he's not really obsessed over Gretchen. It's just they're having normal conversations, normal relationship, normal screen time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so weird.
Yeah.
That it was 3 seasons.
And then Jen apparently knows how to knit because she's knitting in her room when Jack walks in.
I guess she learned from Grams.
Yeah.
Oh, can we go back to the Christmas tree?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the first Christmas tree that we see on Dawson's Creek?
I think so.
Because, okay, so season 1, there was 13 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously they didn't do a Christmas episode that I remember.
No.
And then season 2 was a full season. And they still didn't do a Christmas episode.
Right.
And then now we're jumping to season 4.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a Christmas episode.
Yep.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just like... And they show the whole school year on these shows.
Mm-hmm.
On these seasons. So it's kind of weird how... they wouldn't
Yeah, we got a
show
Halloween.
Christmas.
Yeah, we got a Halloween.
Didn't we get a couple Halloween ones?
Before, I just remember the one with Dawson pulling the pranks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was season 1.
I don't know. I feel like they've kind of always kind of had a haunting one around.
The Witch Island.
Yeah, I feel like that one was kind of...
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't dressing up or anything, but it just kind of was...
Yeah.
Halloween-y.
Yeah, but
and then we've only...
before Christmas.
Well, and then we've only had one Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
And that was season 3.
Yeah.
They just doing picking out what holiday they want to do?
I guess.
For each season?
Yeah, usually Christmas is like the first holiday shows cover, so.
Sometimes, though, they do Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Some shows do.
I'm like thinking about like recent ones, not older shows, yeah.
Oh, older shows. Dang, Cynthia.
Well, this is 20 years old.
These older
23
shows.
years old.
These older shows.
I mean, this show did start in the last century, so.
Oh my God. Look at
Cynthia.
Cynthia's getting even wickeder. Look at her. She's all in the last century, Wow. So, you really shouldn't say that because we're that old.
I know.
We're older than the damn show, Cynthia.
Yeah.
I mean, though it is nice, though, to say we were only, babies, basically, when it was airing.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched Dawson's Creek? No, I was 4 when it came out. So yeah, that's what stood out to me was this is the first Christmas episode, and we're in season 4.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then Jack asks Jen about her applications for college because he finished his.
Well, I didn't like Grams and Jack.
Oh, yeah, going into her business like that.
Well, okay. It's not really Jack, because Jack was just concerned with her.
Mm-hmm.
It was what Graham said about Jen.
Well,
She literally said, if the girl, and I went, your granddaughter?
mm-hmm.
Who says who says the girl? Referring to their granddaughter.
I don't know anybody.
I was like, my grandma would never have said the girl.
Mm-hmm.
She would have been like, my granddaughter.
Mm-hmm.
It was just weird. I was like, Grams, she's literally your granddaughter.
Yeah.
Again, do you think it's the writing? I can't. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, no matter if you're in a fight with her, she's still your granddaughter.
Yeah, maybe just because she's in the older generation.
And just like Jen, she's in this little feud thing with Grams, but she still knows that that's Grams. She doesn't say, that lady.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just weird to refer to your own granddaughter as the girl.
Mm-hmm.
And how she said it too.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the girl, it was the girl.
Yeah.
But yeah, then Jack was like, telling her that she hasn't applied to any colleges and stuff. Okay, so now Jack is becoming Andy. We no longer have Andy, so let's just make Jack the psycho.
Mm-hmm.
Who's all into making sure his friend gets into college. You know what I don't understand?
Mm.
He hated when Andy did it to him.
Right.
When all she could talk about was college. Well, now he's doing the same thing to Jen. Why would you do it if you didn't like it?
I know. I don't know. Maybe just because it's closer to the due date, but still, yeah.
Yeah, but Andy was doing it right after they talked to the college advisor.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just weird how it still doesn't make any sense.
Because, like, isn't everything due by, like, January of your senior year, I think?
Don't ask me.
So, since it's Christmas around the corner, that's probably why he's, like, more lenient on it for her to get it done.
It just
like, now or never. So.
Well, maybe Jen doesn't want to go to college. Did you ever think of that?
Yeah, well, I mean, she is smart, so she could do it if she wanted, but yeah.
If she wanted.
Mm-hmm.
She could also do whatever she wanted.
Mm-hmm.
She might want to take a year off. Like, we don't know because we don't know anything about these characters, which I've expressed. That by now we should know these characters, but we don't. And that's messed up. But I don't know. Does Jen seem like college girl?
Party college girl, maybe, but not like serious college girl.
Not like Joey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I'm like, where would she go though?
Right.
Just because I don't know. She just seems more. I don't know.
I feel like maybe New York just because she's familiar with it, but only if she didn't really know what else to do, maybe.
Right. Maybe she would just go back just to see, but then maybe she would get back in her old life, and that's not good.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. I don't know where she should go just because I don't know much about Jen. We only know of her past because that's all they talk about.
Right.
It's hard because they don't really talk about, like, who she is now. Like, yeah, she's a good girl, but that's really it. I feel like we should know more about her.
Mm-hmm. And then we have another scene with Mr. Brooks and Dawson eating and...
Okay. Did you notice it's only Mr. Brooks eating?
Yeah.
Because Dawson just comes in, sits down. And you know what I thought was funny about that scene? I was like, Dawson, didn't you get yelled at the last time for sitting there and talking while Mr. Brooks is eating?
Yeah.
But he just comes right in and sits down. And I'm like, Dawson.
Yeah, this time he's really intruding.
Yeah. And then he's talking about, I just watched a film last night.
Mm-hmm.
As if Mr. Brooks cares.
Yeah. And then when he mentions the actors in the movie, Mr. Brooks stops him and tells him to beat it.
That's funny. So you know what I think is fun? It was like, this isn't where they talk about why he stopped making films, right?
At the end, yeah.
Of this scene?
Oh, no, the episode I meant.
Oh. Because, yeah, Mr. Brooks just is not thrilled with the whole Dawson's.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, man, Mr. Brooks is just so grumpy.
Yeah.
Which you would think that he would be happy to have somebody talk to him.
Right.
Because I remember, like, have you ever, like, spent time with, like, somebody older?
Like, in my family or outside my family?
Outside your family.
Not really, no.
Because, like, when I was a kid, I, like, my cousins and my brother used to ride their bikes down the road. And they would go further than I would. Particularly because I didn't want to go by this house because this kid would throw rocks at us.
Oh.
So I didn't want to get rocks thrown at me. So I literally didn't go that far.
Yeah.
So I would stop at this lady's house, and she was older, and I don't really know if she, had friends. Mm-hmm. So I would just go up there and just sit outside with her and talk to her, and she would give me cookies, and it's like, wow, the boys are just over there probably getting tortured. I am gonna sit here and talk, and she was just really sweet to me and stuff, and I got to have that little bonding time. But yeah, I was like, and it probably made her day to have a little kid talk to her.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still haunting to go past that house. Because someone's like, that's the house that would throw rocks. Yes. But yeah, I used to kind of do that. But at least the lady I was talking to, she was nice. She wasn't Mr. Brooks.
Yeah.
But I feel like every little kid should have that experience. Talking to someone, older and wiser.
Yeah.
Because it also makes them, especially if they don't have family, it makes them feel good.
Yeah.
Which is what when you get older, that's what you want, right?
Yeah.
And so I would think that Mr. Brooks, because he doesn't talk to anybody, that he would be happy Dawson wants to have a conversation with him.
Right.
Kind of like when Henry would hang out with, what's her face?
Right, I can't remember her name either.
Yeah, me either. But it's like she enjoyed that. So why can't Mr. Brooks enjoy Dawson?
Right.
Especially when they like the same things. Yeah, I was just like, Mr. Grump over there should be happy that a teenager, just in general, wants to hang out with him. And think about it, he's not doing it. Dawson's not talking to him for payback now. He's literally just wanting to have a conversation with him.
Right.
But yeah, I was like, I used to have that, but at least mine was nicer.
And then Joey and Gretchen are shopping for a dress for Joey.
Is it weird that Joey is shopping with Gretchen?
A little bit, just because they don't seem to really know each other that well.
Well, and I kind of feel like they've just totally taken Bess out of the picture.
Right.
Because that would be a sister thing. Like, especially if your mom isn't around.
Right.
You would go with your sister. Like, wouldn't you want to go with your sister shopping? Especially for something important. Like, I think about Bess is so, like, she's so into Joey's future.
Oh, yeah.
That she would want to go dress shopping with her.
Yeah.
I just think it's so weird that they put Gretchen there and not Bess.
Well, when was the last time we even saw Bess? I think that's been a minute, but...
it's been a long time.
Yeah, I think they just threw Gretchen there because they couldn't get Bess, maybe. We don't know why she hasn't been around.
Yeah, I just don't like it because it would have been a great sister moment. It's kind of like if it would have been a great mother-daughter moment, but because her mom died, it would have been a great sister moment.
Yeah.
And especially because we haven't seen too many Joey and Bess scenes, this would have been perfect.
Yeah.
But once again, they just don't use what they could have. That would have made it so much better.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Gretchen, but she's Pacey's sister. Pacey and Pacey and Gretchen should be having sibling, really, scenes. I told you they don't know how to write sibling scenes because these two are not having sibling scenes. Andy and Jack, I would always complain about.
Yeah.
They don't know how to write it, do they?
Will they get any better with Dawson's sibling?
Dawson is in college by the time the kid is even born, it seems like.
I thought maybe they'd do something, but yeah, and then Joey was surprised that Gretchen's gonna put the party together, and she said that she loved those parties, even though her and Dawson were always in his room watching movies. Did you catch that?
No.
So like,
I ignored that.
How did you enjoy the parties like they were a big part of your childhood when you weren't even there?
Because haven't you ever listened to Pacey? They're just movie buddies.
Yeah, so I don't know. They were just kind of weird. Like Joey, misses the parties even though she never went to them. So
that Christmas time.
Yeah, and then Gretchen said that it has its own charm watching movies with Dawson because he can make it feel like an event. I didn't believe it.
Dawson, is it because you don't believe Dawson can make anything an event?
Well, no, because every time he watches something with somebody, it's always something he wants to watch first of all.
Well, and it's always his kind of movies.
Yeah, exactly.
And nobody enjoys it when the movie gets over with. everybody always complains that they had to watch it.
Yeah.
So,
well, his mom seemed to like the movie.
only because she was crying. If
Yeah.
she was in the state of mind that she is now, which is happy and stuff, she probably would have a different reaction. She was only thinking of her broken marriage. But because everybody else has said something to him. But yet he still doesn't get it, no matter how many times somebody says something.
Right.
Wasn't Pacey and Joey having a hard time at that stupid party thing?
I don't know why they call it a party. It should be a banquet.
No. Pacey and Joey, when they went with Dawson and Gretchen. At that stupid thing. With the one that Andy...
Rave?
Yes, that rave. They didn't like that Dawson and Joey... my God, that Dawson and Gretchen were getting close.
Yeah, so...
Well, but do you remember that? Because neither one of them felt comfortable having Dawson and Gretchen kind of hanging out.
Yeah.
So because of that, right?
Right.
And that awkward scene between Gretchen and Joey, when Gretchen says, I'm not the girl that he...
Still has a crush on?
Yeah. Like that, because that was awkward. Flash forward to their shopping for a dress. I'm like, did you totally forget that part?
Right.
Think about it. Joey doesn't let anything go. Like, she still hates Jen, I think, for dating Dawson. You know what I mean? And trying to go after him when she was with him. So it's kind of like, Joey doesn't let things go. So the fact that if you're hanging around Dawson, I don't think she would just be buddy-buddy with you. Whether you're related to her boyfriend or not. You know? Because Dawson has always been her number one. That I just don't think that it would even make sense.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't know why they are forgetting plot lines.
I mean, it was just like 2 episodes ago, though. It's not like it was last season.
Yeah, I don't know. I figured Dawson would maybe start to have feelings for Gretchen eventually. Like something, or one of them at least would.
I will say, though, they are cute together. Aren't you happy I'm being nice to Dawson? See, season 4, I'm actually being nice to Dawson.
Yeah.
It's because Gretchen is changing him. See, like, you know how Joey's being kind of less annoying? Not in this episode, but generally when she's with Pacey.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing with Dawson. He's less annoying when he's with Gretchen. Because I couldn't say it about Pacey because Andy did change him.
Yeah.
That's why I had to go with Joey. By the way, I didn't like Joey in this episode.
Yeah, me either.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so when she was telling him in the hallway at school, Joey, telling Pacey that he has to go with her. Oh my God, he was just so funny. Oh my God, I just love Pacey.
Yeah.
See, we're back. We're back to the old Brittany, where she loves Pacey. Well, I was on a little hate for him for a while when it came to Andy, but I'm back.
Yeah.
First of all, he looked adorable this episode, as he always does. And I know you're over there rolling your eyes. And what?
No, keep going.
And once again, this school, it seems to be really big. Because again, they're walking down the steps. Or they have steps at school, which I still can't figure out. Aren't they in a small town?
I guess it's just a tall building.
Anyway, they got 5 classrooms downstairs and 5 upstairs.
Maybe.
But anyway, it was funny though, because he's like, when he says, so, I mean, what happens if I just broke up with you right now? And she's like, basically like, well, you still have to come with me.
Yeah.
He's like, darn it. And then she says, that she brings up going to Sunday dinners with his family as the fact that she doesn't want to do it, because she says like something like, oh, well, sometimes we have to do things we don't want to do when we're in a relationship. And then she brings that up, and he's like, well, he says, we can stop that whenever, because he doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
Did you know that Pacey and Joey spend Sunday dinners with his family?
No.
This is news to me. So, is Gretchen there at these family dinners?
She has to be.
Well, why isn't Dawson there?
Because they're not officially dating yet, I guess.
But I was just like, all right, this makes no sense. Pacey hates his family.
Yeah.
And his family hates him.
Mm-hmm.
Why is he going to these family dinners?
I don't know, maybe his mom wanted to do it, I guess, since 2 of the kids don't even live there at the moment.
None of them live there.
Well, the one sister with the kids, right?
No, she was only there for that holiday. She was only in town for Thanksgiving.
I'm talking about the sister that made Pacey move out. Because she had her kids with her?
Yeah, she had her kids with her. I think it was only for like the holiday or for like a couple weeks or something. And then Pacey just decided to move in with Doug. And then he just decided, because once he was kind of kicked out, he just sort of stayed out.
Oh, okay.
And then he just moved in with Gretchen.
Mm-hmm.
And his parents just let him. But I don't know, I could be wrong. I don't know. None of the kids really, and even if that sister is the only one that lives with the parents, then the 3 of them don't.
Mm-hmm.
Doug, Pacey, and Gretchen.
Yeah, because I thought the sister got divorced. That's why she moved in with them.
She could have. But it's just weird because you've got 3 of them who don't even live there.
Mm-hmm.
And the 3 of them don't really seem, you know what's weird?
Hmm.
Is at first it always seemed like in season 1, Pacey was the outsider of the family, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then we learned that Doug doesn't really want to be around the family, like the parents.
Mm-hmm.
And neither does Gretchen.
Yeah.
So we're learning that Pacey actually has more in common with Gretchen and Doug than we ever thought.
Yeah, his parents are just horrible people.
Yeah, that none of the kids, besides the one with the kid, with the sibling with the kids.
Yeah, with nowhere to go.
Yeah, and I'm sure if she actually had somewhere to go, she wouldn't be there either.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's when you realize how bad it is when that's the thing. We actually learned something about Pacey. And nothing about Jen, but just we learned things about Pacey that actually his siblings aren't that bad.
Right.
Remember, because he would always talk about how he can't stand his siblings and blah blah blah, and it's like, but actually you and Gretchen get along great, and you and Doug are actually kind of like a comedy relief.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make any sense that in season 1 they just acted like Pacey just, hates his siblings when really he doesn't.
Yeah.
Just maybe the one with the kids.
Yeah. I think, too, it's because him and Gretchen are the closest in age. Because we know Doug is, like, in his mid-20s, and Gretchen's, like, 2021. So I'm guessing the other sister might be, like, in her late 20s or even 30.
Yeah.
And that should be all the siblings, 4 of them, right? Or maybe one more sister?
No, I think it's just the 4 of them.
Okay.
Because, that's all they've really talked about. Now, I have a question. Do you like when shows add on siblings?
No, because it can get confusing.
No, because it doesn't make any sense. The plot line, the original plot line. Like, if you say somebody has siblings.
They did that a lot in Boy Meets World.
Why? Who had siblings?
Topanga and Jack. We saw Topanga's sister once, and then she disappeared. Jack has half-siblings that never showed up except for Jack later on, but, like, much later on.
Do you know what you just said?
What?
You just said Jack has half siblings, and then Jack just shows up later on, and I was like,
he does too. Same thing, yeah. They both have half siblings. Yeah. So Sean.
I thought that was funny when you said.
Yeah, and then there's a Jack in this show too, so I just got like characters mixed up for a moment. But yeah, so like they just added siblings at the last second, so and then never seen again.
It's okay if you never see them. But to just say all of a sudden there is one, or there is 2, or they've deleted one, it's like, what? Yeah. And we'll get there on shows of shows that just delete siblings that we have. They are there and then they're not, or they're talked about and then they're not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't like it.
Well, they don't pull off another Boy Meets World, but they have a sibling, and then they recast them like another season later.
Oh yeah, do you like that when they recast?
No. If it works, because it did work with Boy Meets World. I did like the new girl that played Lily. After Lily like disappeared for like a whole season too, but it did fit. But if it's just somebody completely different, then it just won't work. They did another recasting.
Isn't her name Morgan?
I said Lily.
You said Lily.
Because there's so many characters that are similar.
I was like, her name's Morgan.
They did another recasting. I'm gonna get this right now this time.
Oh, okay, this time.
they did a recasting on The Fosters. Did you watch that show?
Yes.
With
Jesus,
yeah.
I thought you were gonna get this right.
I was getting there,
Man,
but
I should have let you try it.
but that was still a good fit too. After that recasting, I'd like to know why.
No, it took me a while.
Mm-hmm.
It took
I
me.
mean, yeah, it was a it took some time to get used to it, but
Well, it took me a while because I like Jake T. Austin.
mm-hmm.
That it was kind of like, he's sort of gone, so I don't know if I want to watch the show anymore. It's hard when you like a character or an actor and then they're gone.
Mm-hmm. There's another recent casting for CW's Superman and Lois with one of their sons too. So that took some time, but again, it was a good fit. So the shows that I've seen, they have made it work.
See, now I'm okay when they recast somebody before the show starts.
Right.
I'm 100% okay with that.
Yeah, they do that a lot.
Because I don't know if, because then when you actually hear so-and-so is supposed to play, you're like, I couldn't see that because I like who they eventually picked.
Yeah.
But when you just replace somebody, it's so weird because it's like, I know, it's not believable, especially when they don't look alike.
Yeah. And then they did that with Gilmore Girls. They recasted Dean and Suki after recording the pilot the first time. So that would have been a big difference too if they kept the original casting.
Yeah, I wouldn't have liked it.
Yeah. Yeah, so Jen gets home and apparently her parents...
Oh, speaking of Gilmore Girls, what did you think of having Chad Michael Murray as Tristan?
He was good.
I know. I love Tristan.
Yeah. I thought maybe he would come back eventually, but...
Now, I have a question. Okay, so the guys, the boyfriends. And obviously Tristan wasn't one, but let's just make him one. Because all three of them kind of had differences, but two had similarities.
What do you mean?
Well, Dean was just so far not similar to Jess and Logan.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Jess and Logan were
really
more
different.
kind of bad boy that Dean just wasn't.
Yeah.
And I feel like Tristan was just kind of like a mix. Because he was like the smart one. He was the rich one.
And the bad boy.
Yeah, like he just kind of had all three of them he was just like the three of them put together, I feel like.
Yeah.
He probably would have ended up working out the best.
Yeah, so I was sad that he did have to leave.
Yes, but there's reasons why.
Yeah, I found out many years after why.
Well, he did Gilmore Girls first.
Yeah.
Then Dawson's Creek.
So did he do Dawson's Creek at around the same time as Gilmore Girls?
Well, when was he on Gilmore Girls? Wasn't it season 1?
Yeah.
And it came out in 2000. So it was definitely before
Gilmore Girls, Dawson's Creek.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Because he comes into this show, season 5? Yeah, so...
So it was definitely right after
2001.
Gilmore Girls.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
But I liked him as Tristan.
Me too. So then Jen gets home and sees that her parents sent her Christmas gifts all of a sudden.
All of a sudden it's Christmas and all of a sudden she's getting gifts.
Yeah, because I didn't think that at least her dad would get her anything because it seemed like he kind of was
disowned her?
Yeah. Her parents grew apart, but I guess they stayed married even though it seemed like they're going to get a divorce when her mom popped up.
Yeah, but her mom even said it. Because when Jen basically said, go get a divorce, you'll be happier.
Yeah.
Her mom basically said, well, I can't give up my social life, so I don't think so.
I thought maybe she would have got the courage later on to do it. I guess not.
She seemed like she was never getting out of that life. That she would just continue to be unhappy with somebody who probably is cheating on her. I don't know. Doesn't that kind of how it kind of made Jen seem like her dad, doesn't care and just sort of.
Yeah, so I was surprised he sent her something.
Well, no, she said it came from the secretary.
Yeah, I was going to say that, yeah, she can predict how they were even picked out. Because it's been the same before. And then,
I will say, though, I'm so glad that, my parents buy my gifts.
Yeah, and then, Grams doesn't want to hear it because, she's sounding ungrateful for the gifts, but Jen says Merry effing Christmas. And that,
I was surprised that she was able to say that.
Yeah, me too. I thought she'd say another made up word that they used before.
Fudge.
Yeah. It wasn't even fudge, it was
I thought that's what Jack said.
No, it was like 3 letters.
Fa.
I forget, but yeah, something like that. And then, Graham's like, well, go to your room and maybe when you're up there you can fill out your applications. And, that's when Jen goes off and says that, you don't get a right to tell me what to do with my future because you haven't talked to me since the drug incident and everything. And then what confused me though is that Jen, I get that she was mad, but Jen just threw the presents in the fridge. Did you notice that?
Yeah, why the fridge?
Yeah, like the garbage or maybe even the sink, would have made a little bit more sense to kind of destroy them. Maybe if there was like water in the sink, they could have got, water damage. But no, she just threw them in the fridge. I guess because she was already at the fridge, but still, it was just kind of random.
Well, yeah, because Graham said, here, you can take these up to your room and open them.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And, which I find weird. I just find this whole situation weird.
That she would open them before Christmas?
No, she would open them alone.
Yeah, that too, yeah.
Like, if I was away from my parents, and I was with, like, my grandparents or whatever, my grandma would be like, sit here and open up the gifts that you're, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't open them alone. Like, I couldn't imagine getting presents from your parents and then having your grandma tell you to go open them alone.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't picture it.
Yeah.
Could you?
Mm-mm.
Because your grandma would probably say the same thing, like, I want to see you open your gifts.
Yeah.
That your parents bought you. Like, I just couldn't imagine it. Like, what? Grams, they have made Grams now so evil. Like, it just seems like she's now kind of like a prisoner in the home of, like, go to your room and open the gifts privately.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's just, I can't.
Yeah.
I don't like this Grams.
Mm-hmm. And then Gretchen is helping Dawson with answering his filmmaking question. And Gretchen says that, if he really tried, he could get a 3-picture deal with Columbia and spot a spot high enough on the power list to back himself one of the girls from the WB. That was funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they were on the WB.
Mm-hmm. And that's when Gretchen tells Dawson.
What I thought was funny was when Dawson said, wow, you really are like Pacey's sister.
Yeah, I can see how you're related.
Yeah, I'm like, more and more.
Mm-hmm.
But, he was so, like, at ease bringing Pacey up.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, you are Pacey's sister.
Right.
Like, it wasn't hard for him to say Pacey's name.
Mm-hmm.
If you truly hate somebody, it would be hard for you to say their name.
Yeah, but I don't think Dawson hates Pacey right now anymore. They worked together on that prank.
Yeah, and Dawson said at the end it was just the prank.
Well, he said
like, there's basically nothing between us. Bye-bye.
No, he said there was hope that he could
whatever. Trust him again. Have you met Dawson? That boy has no hope.
No, I didn't see that the prank episode. But then Gretchen tells, Dawson, why don't you get Mr. Brooks to help you? Because he has the experience. And that's...
Because, you know what Dawson should have said? Have you met Mr. Brooks? He can't stand me.
Yeah. At least when he's eating.
He can't stand him. He doesn't like the way he paints, the way he takes pictures. He doesn't like anything about Dawson. Then again, he doesn't like anything about anyone.
And then this is when Grams gets Jack to, help her with the college applications for Jen. But I get wanting to help her, but I feel like going to into her computer was
doing it yourself and putting her name on it. Okay, so I have a question
about Jack finding her journal too.
No, it went over my head, but no. Okay, so my thing is, let's say Jack's a little smarter than Jen, right?
Okay.
Okay, let's just go with it. For a second, Jack writes the essay. Right. She gets into college because of the essay. She goes to class and then she's terrible. And then they're going to go, I thought you wrote this beautiful essay and your writing is not nearly as good as this essay.
Right.
It's kind of like, then she'd be a fraud.
Yeah.
Like, why would you write that? Like, why would you do that? Because, again, it could come bad. Like, back on Jen that she's not as good as this.
Yeah, but...
I'm just saying, like, you got to sometimes think of that.
Yeah, but Jack didn't do that. He actually got one of her essays that she had already written about the women's suffrage and used that as the essay.
He still shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that
Because then what if they would have said,
plagiarize.
brought it up, and, like, he never brought it up to her, and then she'd been like, huh? Then they'd be like, are you having something? Like, what's going on with you? Like, why don't you remember what you did?
Yeah. But I thought the journal would have popped out at you. Because, again, he did what Dawson did with Joey.
I ignore everything.
Yeah, well...
Some people I ignore.
At the party, he's like, I didn't know you still had dreams like that about me. And then that's when she's like, do you want a drink? And he's like, yeah, or something like that.
No, she was just mopey. I was honestly just tuned out with Jack and Jen.
Well, I was just surprised that was brought up after all this time.
I was surprisingly more drawn into Dawson's storyline and Pacey and Joey's. Like, honestly, at the beginning, when it was Dawson and Gretchen, and then it moved on to, like, Joey, and then when Jen finally got on screen, I went, oh yeah, there's other people in the show. Because I was like, oh, I have to listen to Jen's storylines. I don't know, because it just doesn't really go with the group anymore. Again, they're now still divided, it seems like, that I just don't really care for, especially this episode, Mopey Jen. We're going back to, like, season 2 Mopey Jen. And then Jack, like, has nothing to do besides follow Jen around and, you know, do her college applications and stuff for her. Like, it's just, there was really nothing for neither one of them to do in this episode, in my opinion. Don't you think? I don't know. It just seemed like everyone else had better storylines that I was invested in.
Yeah. And then Dawson arrived at Mr. Brooks' place, startling him, and Mr. B says, if you came to ask if I slept with Marilyn Monroe, you can leave. Monroe, and then he's like, no, that's not what it is, but did you? I thought it was funny. Because I knew he was going to ask that once the idea popped into his head.
Oh, you think he's that smart?
Well, that was like the whole big question back then in the days, so... But I would have just asked if he even met her. Because I think that would be something. Yeah, but so Dawson's like, I need your advice about why I want to get into filmmaking. So, like, he wants to know, why he quit. Or I'm going to get ahead of myself, but, Dawson tells him that about his essay and how he needs to say why he wants to be a filmmaker, yeah. And then Mr. B says if he can't do anything better, he might as well put in applications for McDonald's. But I think he said McDonald's.
I wasn't listening to Mr. Brooks.
Oh, yeah.
Usually when Mr. Brooks talks, I like to close my eyes.
Yeah, so he wants to know why Mr. B stopped making movies. And it was before Dawson said that nothing was going to stop him, but then life got in the way, and he had a crisis of faith. And,
Alright, I'm moving on.
Okay.
The door scene. Alright, that was enough. Alright. Nothing really happened in it. I know where you want to get to, and we'll get there.
Okay, yeah, I just thought...
Because I want to get there.
Put him into his place.
Let's get on to the party.
Okay.
Or, not the Leery party.
Yeah, the
college thing, yeah.
I'd rather call it a banquet.
Alright, so walking down the steps is handsome Pacey and Joey. And didn't he look good?
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought you just said I don't know.
Yeah, well, he's like 17, so it's hard to look at him as not a child.
Gretchen was the one at the Leery house and said, it's better with high school boys. And I went, good. You're like 20 and you're talking about high school boys. I thought 20-year-olds were supposed to be in the college kids or older, not high school boys. But anyway, no. So when he says, I'm the only one who gets to walk around with Audrey Hepburn. Flashback. Well, it's more like flash forward.
Okay.
I guess because I forgot this comment when watching season 4. that it comes back around in season 6. So I remember the season 6 comment and I went, the Audrey Hepburn comes back.
Yes, now they've mentioned 2 well-known actresses back in the day. I didn't think they do that in the same episode, but
now when Joey is talking to that girl,
right.
First of all, where's Pacey? And secondly, the girl's going on and on about how bad being third is in her class, and then she tells Joey, "What number were you?" And Joey goes, 4th, and then she goes, "Oh, 4th is so good." I'm like,
yeah.
You were just saying how 3rd was so bad. I was like, girl, she's only saying it because she is one number ahead of you. Yeah. But I was just like, you are, I couldn't stand it. I was like, why are you, now all of a sudden 4th is good. And then it was funny because when the girl was like, oh, like basically saying, oh, how cute that waiter is. And it's Drew.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't think he's cute.
Yeah, neither do I.
See, I'm into Pacey. I'm not into Drew. Now, how did you like, though, when Drew comes over and then says that at midnight, Joey's going to turn into a pumpkin?
Yeah, he was trying to embarrass her in front of the other girl.
I didn't like it.
She's one of their finest waitresses, too.
Yes. And then the girl's like, I think I see my boarding
classmate.
Yeah. And I was like, okay. But I didn't like the girl to begin with.
Yeah.
So I was okay to see her go away.
And then Drew was like, how badly do you want to hurt me right now? And then she leaves and he says, good, too many witnesses.
Now, first of all, I'm surprised that Drew didn't do anything at the party.
What do you mean?
Destroy it.
The banquet?
Yeah.
Well, it was hosted by his mom.
So have you met Drew, though?
I feel like he would have just didn't think it was worth it because he already had gotten suspended from school, so...
I don't think Drew cares.
Oh, I just figured he wouldn't want to get more trouble with his mom, at least.
Okay, so we're going to continue at the college party. When Joey's sitting there, and she's so awkward because she doesn't know what to say. Because she's trying to always like think of what to say that's gonna like impress Mr. So-and-so.
Mr. K.
Yeah. And then of course Pacey steps in. And then Joey's getting all mad at him. Did you see Mrs. Valentine was at that table?
Yeah, but I don't even remember what she said or anything.
I don't really think she said anything. I just remember her being at the table. Because
because she laughed, I think. Yeah, when Joey said that art, the art museum or whatever was in New York, but it was actually Spain. That's when I remember her laughing. And then Drew actually chimed in and said that it was in Spain to help her out. Like, that was surprising to me that he was trying to do that for her.
Well, I think Drew likes Joey.
Yeah. Now it's becoming obvious to me, but before that I didn't think that he would.
No, he just seemed like a jerk, but now he's a jerk who likes her.
And then Pacey made the whole table laugh by saying the art building looks like a big artichoke.
I love Pacey. And so let's just continue with this. So then, she gets mad at him and they go outside. And then she's yelling at him. And then I was so happy that what's his name, Mr. K?
Yeah.
Came outside because Joey was on my last nerve. Because she was so rude.
Yeah, he was just like making, conversation and.
Well, because then she was like, well, like, what are you trying to impress? Like, where are you going to college? And I went, what?
Well, I don't know why she was so mad that he lied about going to Yale because his parents wanted him to. I didn't see that as a big deal. When he was asked why he hadn't applied to their college.
I didn't think anything was a big deal because the guy liked Pacey.
Yeah. But I think it was just because, the night was supposed to be about her because she is applying to the college, so maybe she was mad that the spotlight wasn't on her.
She was doing poorly.
Just moved to him.
Drew had to help her out, and then Pacey stepped in because she was just doing so poorly. I mean, she was going to just, if she really, let's be honest, Joey was going to screw this night up if Pacey wasn't around.
Yeah.
And think about it, you should be happy that Pacey was...
making everybody laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was at least making the night better. Okay, so when Mr. K tells Joey that he likes her boyfriend. And he said, what was it that he said? Something about
Pacey was a wonderful character witness.
Yes, character witness. Yes. I was like, oh my god, it brought me back to the
letter.
The essay thing that Dawson wrote.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, maybe the one who really should have wrote it was Pacey.
Yeah.
Because okay, and that was my thing too that I probably didn't bring up then because I was so hard on Pacey in that episode. Was if you wanted like because we all know Pacey says things that is so out there. Like that you could never see a teenage boy saying. And like all these good things. And that was the thing was if you wanted somebody to write good things, then it would be Pacey.
Yeah.
If you want like a real true life story, it'd be Dawson. And but yeah, I was like, man, the fact that that guy was so impressed with Pacey, maybe Pacey should have wrote your essay. You know? I was like, damn.
Yeah, because Pacey just said that he
But also too, didn't Andy change Pacey?
Yeah.
Because he was telling Mr. K of how like Joey changed him and stuff, and I'm like, ugh, I thought Andy changed you.
Well, I guess Joey did too a little bit. And then Mr. K did say that Pacey told him that he couldn't imagine a better life than one with Joey by his side.
Aw, you know my heart loves that part.
And that he was just, talking like that because he wanted them to see her through his eyes for one night.
Okay, yeah. So because she goes up to him after talking to Mr. K, and that's when he goes, apology accepted.
Yeah.
And she's like, how'd you know I was going to apologize? And he's like, because I know you're going to apologize. And then that's when he said, maybe I just want to see, I want them to see you through my eyes. And then she says, your mom should get a medal. And he's like, for what? And she said, for raising the perfect boy. Oh my God. Cynthia. Keep in mind, she used to love Dawson. She said Pacey is the perfect boy. Yeah, I don't think she's ever said Dawson is.
Yeah, well, I was surprised she said his mom because we haven't even seen his mom. So.
Well, his mom never raised. Pacey raised himself.
Exactly. That's why I didn't really believe that comment. Yeah.
I don't think the writers knew that part. That's why sometimes I don't think the writers really know the show, all the stuff they throw in. You know what I mean? But yes, I was like, oh my gosh. Well, and then I thought too. I did think one thing that was weird about that comment was boy.
I mean, technically he still is, but yeah, they're almost adults now.
He's like 17. He's a teenager. I don't know. But I was like, oh my God, though, she called him perfect. I don't think she's ever called Dawson perfect.
No, she hasn't.
She's always said he has flaws. So Cynthia, I want you for the rest of your life to remember that Joey called him perfect.
Okay.
I just want you to always remember that. So now anytime you got something bad to say, I'm going to always bring up, remember, Joey said he's perfect. Okay? Just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
But I will say, though, Joey had good hair in this episode.
Yeah, she did.
And again, Pacey looks so damn cute. They were just so damn cute together. Yeah. Like, they just looked so perfect, like the perfect couple. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
She looked really beautiful. And he's Pacey. He looks so damn cute.
Yeah.
So for me, they're the cutest couple. All right, can we go over to the Leery house?
Yeah.
Oh, well, first, I do want to say one thing. When they're leaving, Joey and Pacey says, let's go somewhere that we are, what did he use?
Let me go back.
Accepted or comfortable or something.
Go to some place they both fit in.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm sorry, but if you mean the Leery house, I don't think you're really accepted over there. But anyway, let's go to the party, the Christmas party. Can I say something? This might be jumping, but when Jen is outside or something, she's at the party, right? Okay. So she's at the party, and Mrs. So-and-so,
Watson.
Sure. That's the counselor, right?
Mm-hmm. And a college advisor, whatever.
Why is she at Dawson's Christmas party?
I guess it's like a whole town thing because Grams is there too.
Grams is the neighbor.
I know. I'm just saying,
She's like a family friend.
It's like the doors are open for everybody.
Who invites their
because it's at the restaurant too, so that makes sense why everybody be invited.
It was weird though. I was like, this is like one of your students, and she's not like a family friend. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because think about like our town.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are friends with like family friends with teachers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we're in a small town. But she's not. She just works at the school that all the kids go to. She's not a friend of them. So it's weird that she would be there. Oh, it was just weird to see her. I'm like, this is supposed to be like, kind of like friends and family, and she's here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then that's when she brings up to Jen about
her
writing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, did you want to jump to Dawson and Mr. Brooks?
Mm-hmm.
All right, is this where Mr. Brooks tells him why he stopped making films? If not, let's go to it. Okay, so he tells him why, and he says that while he was making the last film, that his best friend, I can't even say,
and his girlfriend were cast as the romantic leads in the movie, and then they ended up falling for each other. And by the time he realized it, they were both gone. And so he had to keep directing the rest of the movie. But as soon as he was finished, he left for Cape Side and never looked back.
Oh my goodness! Oh my god! So this is where you definitely learn that Mr. Brooks is Dawson, just older. I literally wrote that.
Yeah.
And then I was just laughing because this is Dawson's life.
Yeah.
Why? Of course, they made an older character have Dawson's life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, on what TV show, Cynthia, would you see this?
I don't know.
I can't think of one.
I can't either at the moment. But we learned
it's so obvious.
Yeah.
Oh, they have made so many love triangle comments.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. When it first came out, when it broke to Dawson, he brought up a movie. Mm-hmm. Then season 4, we jumped to that classroom assignment where they're talking about, what was it, a book or something? About that love triangle, and Drew jumps in because they're talking about the good guy and the bad guy.
Yeah, it was Shakespeare.
And I'm like, and now here it is. Every chance they get, they throw that in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then we also learned
but do you think that Mr. Brooks should have just stopped film just because of that?
No.
That's just stupid to me.
Mm-hmm. He could take a break, but he should have gone back. But we do find out that the episode title, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, is actually based on a book that Mr. B gives Dawson by the film critic named Pauline Kael, I think. But yeah, so he just gives him the book to read. I guess that will help him with his filmmaking essay. And then Dawson invites Mr. B to the party, so they go inside. And, Mr. B asks Dawson why he wants to make pictures, and Dawson says, how can you explain the things you love? You can't, you just do. Then we fast forward to Mr. B at the piano, because there's a piano there all of a sudden.
Yeah, what is he doing at the piano?
Yeah, I didn't think he could play, but he did sound like he could. And that's when he sees Grams, and they have a moment because he says that he admires how Grams put him in his place about yelling at Dawson about his boat.
Because he was trying to play it off because he was like, oh, have we met? And she's like, we have.
Yeah.
When you were talking, what'd she say? Something about...
just giving Dawson a hard time about his boat. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mr. B now knows that Dawson isn't an idiot. He's just
I thought it was funny. Yeah, that was one of my favorite lines.
Yeah, I figured it was.
He's not an idiot. He's just a nuisance.
Mm-hmm.
And I handwrite that one down.
Yeah, and then Graham says maybe in the future Mr. B will get to know a person before writing them off, and Mr. B tells Graham that she might do the same. So that's when I could tell that they were starting to like each other at that point too.
Well, and that they actually may have some things in common.
Mm-hmm. And then Dawson comes back and, I saw you, he says, I saw you flirting with Grams. And Mr. B says he would know if you was flirting, but, he says you could sit down and take a lesson or two.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dawson tells him that he's ready to make another movie about him and his life, Mr. B. And, Mr. B didn't believe it at first. So he's like, say that again, my good ear. And yeah, they just talk about it later and join the party.
I will say though about Pacey and Joey for a second. Mm-hmm. When he tells her why he did all that, because she was like, "Well, you lied," and he's like, "I lied for you." It's like, Joey, you know how many people would love that? This is what I mean. Pacey is the perfect boyfriend. Serious. Okay, how many boyfriends would first of all go to that when they didn't want to? And then secondly, would sit there and like take charge and just start talking. And yes, he did lie, but and like he said, I don't have anything to lose in this. Yeah. That's why it was easy for me. And it's like, but let's be honest though, Pacey's good at the talk. So he could talk his way through anything. Yeah. So, but yeah, I was like, because he lied for you, Joey, because he loves you. So that's why. But when they walk in, what do they see? When my favorite couple walks in, what do they see?
Yeah, well, before that, Mr. B walks by Dawson and Gretchen and tells Dawson to quit flirting and kiss Gretchen, and he touches the mistletoe that's hanging above them.
All of a sudden, there's mistletoe?
Yeah.
That Gretchen didn't know about? Gretchen was the one that
put it there, probably, or Dawson, one of them.
No, but they acted like they didn't know it was there. Yeah. And I was like, but you two are the one that decorated.
And then Gretchen says you don't monkey with tradition. I never heard of that phrase, but yeah, just as they kiss, Joey and Pacey walk in and see them. And then the screen fades with Dawson and Gretchen looking at each other after the kiss.
See? Now they're probably a couple.
Yeah, I could tell by that part. Yep, and then that was it. So, what was your highs and lows?
My high was Joey realizing that Pacey was actually doing her a favor. And of course, when she made the comment that he's a perfect boy. And also Pacey looking so damn cute in the episode. You're getting annoyed with me, aren't you? And then my low would be Graham's being annoying with Jen. Like, just get over it. First of all, shouldn't Grams be happy that Jen didn't take the drugs? Yeah. And she never stuck up for her granddaughter, which I don't like. So anyway, that whole thing, like, it should be over by now. I mean, if they've already forgotten that Gretchen said that Joey was the girl that Dawson was going after, if they forgot about that, then they should have forgotten that Graham's, is mad at Jen. They forget things. They should forget this one. Yeah. So that was mine.
Yeah, my low was when Jack and Grams worked together to, disobey Jen's, feelings about college and just went ahead and did everything for her.
You like that part?
No, that was the low.
Oh.
And then the high was toward the end when Joey realized that Pacey was just helping her.
Still my favorite part.
And then worst and best. We just
did high and low. I mean, we do rating.
Oh, rating, yeah.
So I would rate this an 8. It wasn't the best, but it also wasn't the worst.
Yeah, 7.5.
You love the 0.5s.
Yeah.
You can't ever... Have you ever given it a solid number?
Yeah, I have. I don't remember the last time, but... could have been the last one, but...
Alright, so yeah, who is your best and worst?
Worst is Mr. B, because he was just giving Dawson a hard time still. And, all about not wanting to talk when he's eating.
Yeah, but he's Dawson just in 50 years.
Yeah. And then the best was Pacey, of course, for helping Joey.
What? It wasn't Jack?
The banquet. It should have been called a banquet. Party did not sound right for a college event, but yeah. And yours?
So for me, the best was Pacey, of course. And, by the way, I miss saying Pacey is the best. So, gotta give it to him.
Mm-hmm.
And the worst was his girlfriend, Joey. I didn't like the way she was treating him. Why did she gotta treat him so poorly?
I know.
And then she said, and then her comment, what college are you getting into? All snotty.
Right.
She deserved to get slapped.
Mm-hmm.
He should have went home after that.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been 100% okay if he would have just left her there that night. But anyway, she was the worst for me. I couldn't stand the way she was treating him. Because she dragged him there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, she was the worst. So anyway, what's the next episode?
Episode 10, Self-Reliance.
Oh, good. All right. I mean, I did say season 4 was my favorite, so.
Is that the last episode? Yeah, that's the last episode of 2002.
Huh?
Yep.
Did you say 2002?
No, I mean like 2STOO. Yeah, so after after 10 will be in 2001.
Well, but why wouldn't this one be?
Well, it aired on this, the next one airs on December 20th.
I know. This one was the Christmas episode.
Yeah, I know. It's like a week off. But that's just how
this one should have aired December 20th.
Yeah,
because this was the Christmas episode.
Yeah, but then they could have only done that if they took a week off, and they usually don't do that randomly, so.
Unless this is like part 1 of part 2. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, they didn't say part 1 anywhere, so.
I know. I'm just saying it's just weird that this is the Christmas episode and it's not before Christmas.
Right.
And there is one, but that one's before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's messed up.
Yeah.
But anyway. Mm-hmm. All right. We'll see you next time.
Yep. And have a good day. I don't know.
Have a good day.
I'm tired.
All right. We'll see you next time, guys.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us at Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would really appreciate it.